Welcome back to Pro Tour, the Lord of the Rings from Barcelona. Cedric Phillips, Paul Cheon here in the booth, getting it ready to watch our world champion, Nathan Steuer, and that Boros deck that he just drafted, do battle and see, well, to me, what does everybody else got going on out there? We know what Nathan's got. What do the other 7 players have?
I mean, I saw a ton of really great black cards in that draft. So, I mean, you're going to see a lot of people kind of fighting for that. But, I mean, we saw the Voracious Fellbeast. We saw multiple copies of Tormund and Gollum. That's kind of where I'm looking at. But that's me, the person who likes drafting the slow, controlling black decks.
Well, we are going to take a look at the 2 decks here from our players. Nathan Steuer is where we do begin. If you are just joining us, Nathan did draft a Boros deck in his seat. He likes to draft what comes to him as opposed to forcing something in a particular situation. So Nathan was able to build a deck with a fairly nice curve. He's a little light on removal, doesn't have the highest of power levels, but at the end of the day, a 1-drop into a 2-drop into a 3 into a 4 can be plenty to get the job done.
Yeah, really good curve here. You saw all those 2s.
Oh, well,
mirror?
I did not expect this. Okay, so Robert Steiner, a red-white deck as well. So in a way, this means that Robert maybe got some of the leftovers that Nathan didn't get, and vice versa. So as I scroll through this, I'm trying to look at, okay, does Robert have removal that Nathan was expecting to get? Not really. There's a Smite the Deathless here. Sure, but Nathan has one of those as well that Nathan did pass, so perhaps Robert got that. There's an Eagles that Nathan did pass. Looks like maybe Robert got that one as well. But what I'm seeing here, Paul, is also just kind of maybe a run-of-the-mill Boros strategy. There are 2 Frodos.
There are 2 Frodos.
Okay.
So there's that. I mean, we do have 2 copies of Rally at the Hornburg.
Yes.
Nathan didn't see a single copy of that card.
That's very true.
That's the one that he really wanted to see. And yeah, some filler here as well. I mean, 2 copies of Fog on the Barrow Downs. Now, this is typically a card that's been good historically in Magic, right? 2 and a white. In effect that basically makes it so a creature can't attack. But in this format, there's a lot of ways to sacrifice a creature for an effect.
Yep.
And they're Lash of the Balrog, Improvised Club. So it makes it so that type of effect is not as desirable in this format.
Now let's talk about what makes this particular draft pod interesting. This is a draft pod here in which we have Nathan Steuer, of course, our reigning world champion, Pro Tour Marching Machine champion, and so much more. And then 7 other players that are thinking, well, there's Nathan. But there's not really any other huge accomplished names in this pod. And that means that for most of these players, I might be thinking, I might be at the opportunity to dodge Nathan. But if you're Robert, you say, if I get by Nathan, 3-0 is very possible.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's kind of on the let's try to dodge Nathan plan.
Yes,
probably.
Yes. So we are going to see how things do go here as we are underway here in game number 1 of round number 1 of Pro Tour, the Lord of the Rings.
But not a lot of resources, not a lot of cards in hand for Nathan. I believe I'm being told that he was on a mulligan to 4 in this game.
Not
so
very many of those. Okay.
Not ideal here.
I'll go to combat.
Well, Nathan is going to go to combat here.
Yeah, likely going to give this vigilance here.
Trigger this and give it vigilance.
Vigilance is the call here from Nathan. So in for 2. Robert's going to fall down to 18. Does Nathan have some sort of good follow-up here?
Maybe an Aaron Rider.
Draw.
Yep, an Aaron Rider.
Okay.
Draw a card.
So new card coming.
Okay, that helps you unmulligan. 4 is a lot.
does.
4 is a lot to fight from.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, if we take a look at Robert's hand, you see there's a copy of Hobbit's Sting and Eagles of the North, the Protector of Gondar. So it will be the Protector. We head back Nathan's way.
Yeah. Not great attacks here anymore. I suppose Nathan can still give one of his creatures first strike.
You do see Protector of Gondor. 4 mana, 3/3 human soldier enters the battlefield, going to create a 1/1 white human soldier.
Yeah, very, very strong white common. Probably the second best white common in the set. Just if you just look at it, it's a 4 mana card that gives you 4 power and 4 toughness worth of stats. But that extra 1/1 token is a lot more valuable than just having a 4 mana 4/4 in this format, just because of Tempt and some of the go white spells in the format.
There is the book. Nathan's going to amass 1 and simply pass the turn back. So Chapter 2 will be coming on that book here shortly, but in the interim, we will focus on Robert and his turn.
I need to think for a second. Take your time.
Robert's got a lot more action because he kept his hand. And as you can see, a lot of different options here. We've got the Hobbits thing. We've got the fog on the bearer downs here, if he wants to use that to slow down whatever Nathan's trying to do here. And he's got a pretty wide board, so with all the creatures that he's in play, now for Wrath, now for Ruin, it's a lot of stats that you're going to be adding to the board. That's +4 in stats, plus a tempt effect.
No, you played Protector last turn.
Yes.
Good communication between the players, making sure that things will be clean here. So looks like we're going to have the fog be played.
All right, so this is going to be a decent size attack here, most likely from Robert.
1 card in hand.
So fog on the barrel downs is going to shut down arguably Nathan's best card. Looks like Robert is going to swing with everything, as you said, Paul.
Get
so
in there.
let's get some comment. You know I love that.
Wait, you like turning creatures sideways?
On occasion.
You like
On
aggressive white
occasion.
creatures?
I've been dabbling in blue recently.
Oh,
heavy dislike.
really?
Heavy dislike.
Yeah,
Heavy dislike.
yeah.
It's just good to mix it up occasionally.
Yeah.
Many cards
Yeah,
do you
I tried attacking. It didn't go well for me.
I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
We are who we are.
All right, well, we balance each other out. Yeah.
Let's see if Nathan wants to tender any blocks in this situation. It looks like the answer to that question is no. So he will end up taking 7 damage and falling down to 13.
I cycle this for the basic planes, play the planes, play Frodo.
And there is a basic planes on the plane cycling of the Eagles, and now Frodo's going to join the fray post-combat.
Just using every last bit of his mana. Robert wants to put as many creatures onto the board as possible before he puts +1/+1 counters on his entire squad.
I will.
Chapter 2
Yes.
means an amass 2.
The third one gives +1/+0 menace to all your. Okay.
So it'll be a 3/3 army that's on the battlefield here for Nathan. A very difficult situation for Nathan to try to navigate through, simply due to a lack of resources, not for a lack of trying.
Right. I mean, they have basically the same deck, and it's just one of those things where Robert just has more cards, was able to put more creatures onto the battlefield here. So Nathan has to be really careful here. He could line up an okay attack, but the crackback is going to be huge here from Robert Steiner.
Yeah, and that's the concern. Now, Nathan has drawn a copy of Shadowfax Lore of Horses for the turn, and that is what's going to get deployed in main phase 1. Shadowfax, of course, a 5-mana 4/4. Horses you control have haste.
I will target.
And when it attacks, you can put a creature with lesser power from your hand on the battlefield tapped and attacking.
So that's going to get in for
That's
a
alright.
lot here. We're looking at
Everything
10 damage
triggers.
potentially.
Yes.
Oh, keeping the horse.
This comes into play tapped and attacking.
Yes.
It doesn't have
Oh, gave the horse
Yeah,
vigilance.
gave the horse
of course.
vigilance, yep.
Okay. Wow, yeah, this is a gigantic attack here from Nathan. 13 damage coming in.
And what I like here from Nathan on this particular attack might sound elementary, but I'll say it anyway, is the only way he's going to win this game is by attacking.
Yeah.
If we play a longer game, Robert's up on cards.
Right.
So this is actually a situation where you have to kind of hope that Robert's hand's not very good, and if you can shorten the game, I think that's exactly where you want to be, and that's what Nathan is trying to do. Now, unfortunately here for Nathan, Robert's hand is pretty good with Hobbit Sting, and now for Wrath, now for Ruin in hand, and a new card coming, which is a Mountain.
13, correct?
Yeah, now for
13
Wrath,
to 5.
absolutely phenomenal in this situation where he can just play it, not really have to worry too much, and can attack with everything and still have creatures back to defend, right? You've got the Hobbit's Thing. You got 4 creatures in play. Hobbit's Thing can get rid of the Shadowfax that's in play.
Yep.
And then you can play now for Wrath, now for Ruin. If he does have 6 mana, it looks like he does. And he's
4/4.
so
Yep.
this seems pretty straightforward here. Now, is this enough to kill Nathan is what I'm looking at.
Well, we'll kick things off with the Hobbit Sting. So for 1 and a white, going to deal X damage. Target creature X is the number of creatures you control plus number of food you control. And now there is the card that Robert has been building towards the entire time. Now for Wrath, now for Ruin, Paul.
Yeah, getting in for 11 damage here, putting Nathan down to 2.
So let's see.
Now remember, Robert's down to 5.
8, 11.
The book will give Nathan's creatures menace, but Robert has 4 creatures lined up to block both of the creatures if he wants to live.
And so now that makes me wonder, what is Nathan's best draw step in this situation? We'll, of course, find out together here momentarily what the draw step will be. And it looks like there is a little bit of ring bearing to be done. So there is the ring.
Attack with everything. They all
Yep,
have vigilance.
they sure do. So Nathan's going to go down to 2.
True. All right, what can you find here?
I did not get a great look at it.
Chapter 3 here. Now,
Indeed.
Nathan's team is going to get +1, +0, and menace until end of turn. Can he find something here to get through for the final few points of damage?
Looks like it was Moria Marauder was the draw. Creatures you control are going to get +1/+1 and menace until end of turn.
So not the most impactful draw here. Not going to allow Nathan to kind of get in for a lethal attack. Robert will be able to line up blocks. I mean, if anything, he could even just block one of the creatures.
Yep. The only thing that Robert has to think about is just, okay, we'll give Nathan a draw in this situation. Right. Because I believe Nathan's going to attack. Yeah. You know, again, this is a situation where if he does not attack, he's not giving himself the best chance to win the game. So in a situation like this, maybe this is a spot where Robert may outthink himself, and that's Nathan's only chance to win the game, which is maybe he lines up a poor block. Maybe he plays around something he has no business playing around, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so if you're Robert here, you probably want to find a double block here on the amass token to get it off the board because it has vigilance, right?
Sure.
So if you double block the token here, all of a sudden you can attack back for lethal. Nathan's only down to 2.
Yep.
The only other thing that Robert has to be thinking about is, okay, if I take this 4 here from this Errant Rider, what can Nathan have?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Do I die? Or do I have to put 2 creatures in front of it and perhaps go for a trade there? But Nathan only has this one option, right? So he's just going for it here. And, whatever Robert really chooses to do here outside of not blocking, right? Robert's going to be in a fine situation.
And this is one of the things that makes competitive Magic so compelling, Paul, because we're watching this, as our viewers are at home as well, and we know, Nathan, there's nothing going on there. There's no good card in hand, just drew air, creature that doesn't matter, okay. But if you're Robert, you're in the feature match, you're playing against arguably the best active player in the world right now, and you don't want to make a mistake in a spot like this at the beginning of your tournament. In a game that you were almost certainly going to win.
He's taking 4 here, going to 1.
Oh. But 1 is not done. 1 is not done.
1 is not done. You are correct. Wow.
Robert Steiner is going to win game number 1 here over Nathan Steuer. The red-white mirror goes to our player on the top to kick things off here in round number 1. So now we take a look at the hands here for game number 2. Now it is Robert's turn to have a few less cards.
Looks like he mulliganed to 6 here.
Indeed. Now, Nathan, what we expected turn 2 Mary. Isn't that what's supposed to happen? Got 3 of those?
Got 3 of those, but lacking Mountain, this reprieve is going to have to do some work. I think Nathan's going to reprieve anything.
Yeah.
So cast that. Hope to find a Mountain here. If he doesn't, might be in some trouble.
Well, a couple of draw steps and...
Land?
No land, no mountain, no nothing. So was banking on the reprieve to get the job done, and that did not happen. So we head back over to Robert now.
Same thing.
Yep.
Wow. And this could be a quick game here, Cedric.
Very, very much could be. So if you're Nathan now, you're lacking a red source. You see the Rallied Hornberg, going to create a couple of human soldiers.
Okay.
Now there's your mountain.
There is a mountain. Robert was probably hoping, I'll take 1 free win. I'll take a free win to start the Pro Tour. Mold to 4, don't hit land drop number 3 against the champ.
Yeah. Hey, at this level, you take him any way you can get him, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Nathan's going to try to fight back a little bit here, so we turn our attention back over to Robert, who is doing well thus far.
Oh, yeah, getting aggressive here still. Get in there.
16.
There's Hobbit's Sting. So 2 spells on turn 4. Doesn't look like Nathan drew a land. Actually, he did, so pardon me.
Oh,
that's
great
pretty good.
Way to come back
That
here.
is pretty good. That is the old potential 2-for-1 here in 4A of Orcs, so very well done there from Nathan.
Okay, and now I don't think Robert... Oh, okay. That works.
Yep.
Ooh, and it's great because when you kill the token, even if you find a way to kill the Sheriff, don't get anything back.
Yeah, so Shy Sheriff is quite good there. Does sacrifice one of those 1/1s to take care of the Orcs as we head back Nathan's way. Nathan with a reprieve in hand among other options. Westfold Rider did come down there for Robert as well. Yeah. And this is one of those spots here, Paul, now too, where Nathan... Okay, so this is the land drop. The reprieve doesn't work out as intended, but it's beginning to somewhat stabilize the game because he didn't get really run down too poorly there. He's sitting at 15. That's a lot of life to work with. Yeah. Robert is on a mulligan to 6. Robert only has 2 cards left in hand, so this is a game that Nathan can come back in, and Robert would like to continue to push his advantage if at all possible.
Yeah. This is, however, one of the games where Nathan's playing kind of the role of the defensive player, and reprieve not as good.
No, much
when
worse
you're when you're on the back foot.
Much worse.
Probably didn't expect to play against too many red-white decks, right?
Yep,
You're like, you know what? I got triple Mary in my deck. I got an 8th pick Shadowfax. I'm probably the only red-white player. All of a sudden, round 1, get paired against the mirror.
Looks like it's going to be an attack for 3 here.
I think Nathan might be considering just keeping his life total in check and maybe just blocking the 1/1 here.
There's an escape. +1/+3 gains flying till return untapped.
Yeah. Now keep in mind there is a Westfold Rider in play.
Indeed.
So Robert can use that to sacrifice it to kill the book.
Yep.
I'm blocking.
It looks like Nathan will tender a block.
Damage.
Yep.
Take 2.
Okay.
At
Okay.
13.
It's just whether or not Robert wants to trade a 3/1 for a 2/2,
Sure.
right? Probably just wants to keep the board as clear as possible here.
So we're going to see a protector on the follow-up.
Oh, okay, he's
Maybe 4
okay.
power in the battlefield.
He's okay with the 2/2 here from Nathan.
Mass works 2.
Yep. So there's your amass 2 from the book. Nathan already drawn the card for the turn. There's a mountain.
Finding some lands here, so now Nathan just needs to fill up the board here to keep up with Robert's start.
Yep. And we've been in situations like this and playing limited. You're trying to play catch up, right? You're trying.
Right.
Can I do 2 spells in a turn?
Right.
Because that's the best way for me to catch up here. Is hope my opponent's hand isn't too good. Maybe it's a little bit clunky, and they're 1 spell per turn. Can I be potentially 2 spells per turn?
All right, and a reprieve here, very timely,
Yes.
trading up on mana.
And this is what
Yeah.
we were kind of talking about with the reprieve. We didn't think it'd be particularly good defensively.
Right.
It's actually quite good this turn.
Oh, and look at this, an aggressive attack from Robert. Now,
is.
Nathan can get a nice double block here on the Protector of Gondor, right? You can go for the double block, and you trade a 2/2 for a 3/3.
Mm-hmm.
Take 5, probably what he's going to do.
Oh, there's block 1. There's
Oh.
block 2.
Okay.
I will block.
Remember, Nathan does have escape in hand
Oh,
for
he
the
does
trick.
have an
Yep.
escape. There we go. That
So
makes
now
sense.
there's your escape.
Okay.
There's your +1/+3.
So board is clear now,
Yep, and this is now Nathan can start to, I don't want to say take over.
but it's even.
Yeah, now we're getting even. Nathan is kind of stabilizing at 10 life. He's done a nice job of using his life as a resource.
Right.
Using his resources pretty well. Now, chapter 3 of the book, not particularly effective on this turn.
Right.
But the book has done a nice job with the orcs of doing a little bit of stabilization. And now Nathan can say to himself, all right, this could have gone a lot worse.
Absolutely.
This could have gone a lot worse from where I
Absolutely.
was. And if you're Robert, you're saying, did this game slip away from me? Is there something I did wrong?
Yeah.
That reprieve was quite good.
The reprieve was good. I mean, he could have tried to play around it. You do know that Nathan has 3 copies. I don't know if he had perhaps the option to maybe play 2 2-drops instead.
Sure.
I certainly would have done that
Sure.
if Nathan does keep up the 2 mana.
And that turn's pretty brutal, too, because there's reprieve plus combat trick.
Right.
Don't forget about that, too. So.
Yeah, the escape was huge. Now, Faramir, remember, only triggers if a creature died at the end of your turn, I believe. So if there is a trade here with the Mary, Nathan will not be getting value.
And now Gimli is back. Now Nathan's going to take this damage. So he's going to
Yeah.
go from 10 to 7.
And with a Gimli on the board, that makes things a little dicey because
Yes.
every time a creature dies, Gimli's ability triggers and you can deal 1 damage to an opponent.
Follow-up was Frodo there for Robert, who does look to have a pretty good Boros stat now.
Okay, yep. But this is great here.
Yes, it is.
No targets to fizzle this effect, so breaking of the Fellowship will cleanly kill the Gimli.
And we'll do a little bit of tempting as well.
All right.
Yes.
There's your ring bearer.
Now, however, is Nathan in a position here? Gets the 1/1/2, which is fantastic against the Rider.
Yep.
Can Nathan attack? I mean, it's really tempting to be able to attack with the 2/2 and the 3/3 here and draw a card. They're both legendary creatures. But Nathan being at 7 might not be in a position to be able to do that just yet. There is a Shire Sheriff. You could potentially sack the token if you want to kill a big thing.
Yes.
Well, there's the token sack.
Okay.
Or do you want to kill something that could potentially be big? There in Frodo?
Exile the Frodo. Now are we attacking with both and drawing a card? Ooh,
The
get
answer
some
to that-
value.
the answer to that question sounds like yes. Now, see, this is where we split the difference because I want to attack and you want to draw the card. See,
There
so
we go.
we're making it work here in the booth.
Yeah.
We're making it work.
Yes, alright. My turn.
So we're going to head back Robert's way. This game looks to be potentially slipping away. Battle-scarred Goblin, not at its best at this stage of the game. And now for Wrath, now for Ruin.
Gonna run that out.
Yep, looks like the best thing to do on this turn.
Yeah, this is 6 damage coming in. If Nathan chooses to block, I mean, then Robert gets back the Frodo.
Well, Nathan reaching for his mana very, very quickly. I think this will be slip on the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ring tempts me.
The ring does indeed tempt Nathan.
Tempt onto.
We'll see where Nathan wants to tempt onto now. That's what he's deciding in this moment.
Right. And now this 3/3 gets to get in front of the token. Nathan can potentially take the 4 here from the right or go down to 3.
And Nathan's cards in hand, you can see right now, are Plains and Shadowfax. So Nathan does have the ability to really turn up the heat here next turn. So gonna make the token.
Here.
There's block 1. Well,
I can't do that. My apologies.
Oh, it's of course the token is also tempted.
oh
So
yes,
cannot,
yes.
Cannot block.
Nope,
with,
you're right.
Cannot block with the 3/3 here.
Yep.
Could go for a chump potentially. So this makes the blocks not quite as good here for Nathan. I wonder if if this is the point where you go, look, I just want to get the 4/2 off the battlefield and just trade potentially because you're at 7.
Yeah, so this spot's interesting because let's take a look at the last game. The last game, Nathan on a mulligan to 4, he wanted to shorten the game.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have a lot of cards to work with. I need to hope that your hand stinks. This might be a situation because he's on level 2 of the ring where he says, I want to drag out the game.
Right.
I get to do some looting. I've got some good cards to draw to. So in the last game, I just need to try to kill you as quickly as possible and hope things break my way. This might be one of those situations where I want to preserve my life total. I want to play more turns. I want to do some looting. And maybe that's my best way of winning this game, as Nathan's going to draw a card here. Remember, playing Shadowfax in the grip, mounting the draw for the turn.
Yeah, and Shadowfax here coming in.
Yes.
Combat.
Combat indeed. Now, where are
Attack
we
with
going
these two,
here?
this
There
guy.
you go.
Attack with
Such
2
that
legendary
resolve
creatures.
the,
Draw another card here.
The draw, and then the
And we are
loop,
we are stacking the Shadowfax trigger
Indeed.
along with the Mary here. If he can find a creature, he can put it into play tapped.
Yep.
Did he find something?
I'll choose not to put anything into play.
And he'll choose not to put anything into play. So it looks like the
Okay.
answer to that question is no, at least for right now.
Yep. You're at 9.
Oh, and finds a bunch of land here.
Yes, he does. So you see the life totals here as Nathan plays a land. It is 9-5. Battlescarred Goblin and...
Spearmaster.
Indeed.
I'll cast this Haradrim Spearmaster.
Okay, so Haradrim Spearmaster here can make it so that you can attack in for 3 with the token. Forces either a trade with the 1/1 or a chump with the 1/1 or a trade with the Faramir. You can turn the Frodo into a 2/3 this turn, and then give it +1/+0. Make that a 3/3 if you want.
Oh, they're going to attack here. It looks like Frodo may have gotten the trigger there from the Spearmaster.
Okay.
Very compelling game to kick off our Pro Tour here.
Absolutely. Now Robert can pump up the Frodo here, turn that into a 2/3, and because it has +1/+0, it would turn it into a 3/3 lifelinker. So if Nathan chose to block with the Faramir, that would be a clean trade.
Yep.
Have to block something, right?
Yes.
This is a lethal attack.
Yes.
So this 1/1 is likely going to get in front of something unless Nathan just wants to trade the Faramir here for the Frodo. Frodo will get lifelink.
Yep.
So Robert, that would put Robert up to 12 here.
Yep.
If this trade
Which
happens.
is significant
Yeah.
in this sort of
Absolutely.
racing situation.
The Boros Mirror life gain?
Yeah, it does matter.
Pretty good.
Okay. This is my only block.
All right, so Nathan's going to finalize his block before damage. There is your Frodo activation.
Gain 3,
I'm at-
you lose 2.
I'm at 3 to 12. Yeah.
So 3-12.
3 to 12.
Have
Faramir off the battlefield here. But Nathan has a lot of power in play here, too. Can he find something?
Another Plains.
I wonder. Well, now you can't really attack here with the Mary, as there is a clean blocker here with that Spearmaster in play, right? Where it's a 2/2 ring bearer here with the 2/3 in play, unless Nathan's interested in digging. But you know, if he doesn't do anything, he's okay, right? Robert doesn't have a great attack next
There's
turn.
nothing too scary next turn.
Yeah, you can always trade the Mary with the ring bearer
Yep.
token.
Yep.
Combat.
Yes.
But I wonder, okay, Nathan's going, hey, if I do this, I get to look at 2 cards. So I can try to find something here.
Yes.
So there's your draw.
Stack tricks.
Yep. Loot. He drew a land for the first draw step. Discard a land.
Might not even put a creature into play attacking. Might want to, if he
Might
finds a
want a
creature.
blocker.
Exactly.
Yeah, might just want a blocker.
Yeah.
Found Aaron Ryder.
Aaron Ryder. I think we're not putting a creature in.
Okay, so
that's,
there's your block.
So Nathan just loses the Mary here.
Yep.
But Nathan wanted to dig deeper here. But can Aaron Ryder into something strong here?
There's the potential for that. Time to draw a card. Looks like it may have been another land there, Paul. We'll see. He's going to play a land, simply pass the turn back. Okay, reprieve.
Reprieve.
Interesting.
Okay. That is live.
Mountain the draw.
It's a land here for Steiner.
I'll play this Battle-Scarred Goblin.
Okay.
Okay, so there's Battle-Scarred Goblin.
Now, is Nathan going to fire off the reprieve here
That's a
just
good
to
question.
cycle?
Yeah.
Tap down Robert's mana, right? Robert will be able. We'll have to replay it. Okay, so he's going for it here.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's reprieve. Nathan will draw.
Cast it again.
The
He's
replay.
like, I'm just going to play it again.
Yep.
Now is Robert going to attack? Nathan's at 3.
Attack for 2.
Attack for 2.
Oh, very nice here. Doesn't make the creature bigger, because if he does, then Nathan can block with the Aaron Ryder, right? So it's like I'm attacking with a 2/2 here with Tempt, so that the only blocker you have as Nathan is with the 1/1 token.
1/1, yeah.
Right.
So I win that combat.
Yep.
Or you take 2 and go to 1.
Exactly.
Nathan,
You want to go to 1.
I don't think Nathan wants to go to
okay.
1. So
He's like,
Nathan's going
alright.
to chump block there.
It's your turn.
Eagles of the North was the draw for Nathan. So he'll
Big
draw
draw.
here.
Oh, do you want to put it into play with the Shadowfax?
What's the time?
22 minutes.
Plenty.
Is it power or mana? Lesser power.
Okay.
So you could put it in. Now, is that going to cause a potential lethal attack? Oh, and a Mary. All right, we got to do some math here. You put the Mary in attack, and then you put the Eagles into play attacking.
Eagles of the North enters the battlefield. Creatures you get +1/+0 and gain first strike. So
Right.
you're gonna crush in combat.
You are going to crush
already
a
know
The
that.
question is it enough?
Yes.
Right? Because the Eagles can get blocked along with the Shadowfax. Aaron Ryder and the Mary would get through, and that's an attack for 7. Are we 1 short?
Well, let's start with Mary.
No. Yeah, okay. So we start with the Mary. Remember, 2 creatures can get blocked.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 smallest creatures would get through, which is the Aaron Ryder and the Mary.
Well, let's remember this too: that if we do this play, which is play Mary, attack all the triggers, put the Eagles in, those 2 creatures are going to die, and then you're going to be taking 2 on the way back and not die. It looks like. So here are your triggers. Let's resolve our draw steps, our looting, all that jazz.
Attacking, right?
Yeah, and remember, Nathan's at 3,
Attacking.
Yes.
and Robert will lose both of his creatures
Correct.
just to stay alive.
Correct. Which means that Robert, it looks like he's got some blocking to do. We'll get another draw step.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it currently looks
So
like.
he's got to chump block the 2 biggest creatures here, right? Because if he doesn't, then he just dies.
Correct.
So what he's going to do is probably put the Spearmaster in front of the Eagles, put the Goblin in front of Shadowfax, take 7, go down to 1.
But as we said last game, 1 is not none. There's your blocks.
Okay,
1.
same thing.
You are at 1.
You are
Three,
at
7.
1. Did Nathan find something else too? He does. He has a blocker here now as well. But remember, that 2/2 has Tempt.
Yes, it does.
The Relentless Rohirrim cannot block. Can Robert find a way to get 1 extra point of damage here with this
so
2/2?
it looks like Robert's going to get at least 1 draw step, potentially 2 because of the
Rally the Hornburg?
There you go.
That would do it.
Okay.
Rally off the top?
What do we draw if we're Roberts?
Need something.
That's not what the
Oh.
doctor ordered.
It's 1 card in the deck. I'm at 1.
Let's play the next.
1 is not done. Oh,
One
my
is not
goodness.
0.
1 is not done again. So, on to game 3 we're going to go between Robert Steiner and Nathan Steuer.
Tight one. Very tight one there.
Plus 2.
Now, Paul, I draw your attention to Robert's starting hand. It looks a little thin.
5 mulligan
this
to
time.
5. Ooh, that is rough.
It's like going to kick things off with a Battle-Scarred Goblin. Nathan.
Nathan's hand looks fantastic
Yes,
here.
it does. It's going to be a Shire Sheriff and simply pass the turn back. Robert going to play a
This
Mountain.
is all he's got, but he only has the Goblin.
Yeah.
Just lands in
Nothing
hand.
else.
Okay, 18.
Then I pass.
Level 1 on the ring.
Yeah. Need to find a way to get to level 2, maybe filter through those lands. So Nathan's got some errant riders. Really want to find a legend first, but might just play it out here. The Book of Miserable doesn't do a great job of blocking in this situation.
See Steur's hand on the left-hand side of the screen. Aaron Rider of Gondor. The book, the Eagles, the Breaking of the Fellowship, and another copy of Aaron Rider. He'll start with an Aaron Rider, so he'll draw. That's step 1 of resolving this card with no legendary creature on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So
still a fine card.
Yeah, it's still totally fine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Frodo's not a bad draw step.
Frodo is not a bad draw step.
I'll say this, if I'm Robert, every non-land is a good draw step right now.
Absolutely.
So there's Frodo, Sauron's Bane.
Nathan's still got a decent amount of life to work with here, knowing that he's well ahead on cards, just needs to stop the aggression here from Robert Steiner.
I'll have this deal 2 to your Frodo.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's Breaking of the Fellowship.
Oh, geez. And then is that a Mary? Oh, my goodness. You play the Mary, you tempted, so now you get to draw a card here off this attack, too?
That's quite good.
Jeez.
That is quite good.
So much value. I mean, Robert just cannot come back from this.
There's the draw there for Robert.
I'm at 14.
And Hobbit Sting just not going to do it here, especially on that Mold of 5. Not enough creatures in play here. And had a good shot. You know, you got to be thinking back in game 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Nathan missing the land drop.
That's the decision-laden game, right? So game number 1, we saw a game where Nathan mulliganed to 4, light on resources, unable to come back, and Robert wins that game. Game 2, healthy back and forth between both players. Game 3, looks like it's going to be less so. And you already see Robert is going to extend the fist for the fist bump as Nathan Steuer going to win round number 1 of Pro Tour, the Lord of the Rings. Good back and forth between those two players playing Boros.
Yeah, great back and forth. And guess what? Nathan, not stopping, won't stop.
No.
I mean, this could be the beginnings of just an unprecedented run. I mean, we're talking about, you know, Kai, John, those are the kinds of names that we're thinking about in terms of the streak that Nathan is on right now.
Yes, he is absolutely crushing competitive Magic in every single way possible. And one thing that we do see with Nathan quite a bit too is even though some things aren't going according to plan, this isn't the best deck he's ever drafted.
No.
Still knows how to draft his seat, knows how to play the games and maximize his opportunities to win those games, which he was able to do there against Robert Steiner. Looks like that round's in the books, my friend.
Oh, man. Kind of wanted to keep going.
Yeah, we'll take a short break right now. Maria is up next. Number 1, that's round number 1, in the books here from Barcelona. On our way to the news desk right after this.